Well, our moms think we're funny.
Hey everybody, this is Turk182.
Hey, and I'm Acomi.
And today we are doing something a little different, something we've done before, something like this, but we're doing something a little bit different.
We're kind of going back to our roots.
Yes, we're going back to our roots.
We did a lot of top lists and top tens and things like that, and hypotheticals.
Yes.
In season 1, and I think a lot of that kind of fell by the wayside in season 2 in favor of us doing some more, like, conversational bits. And we've talked about this for a long time, and basically what we're doing today is we're discussing songs that in your dream world that you would hear covered by whoever you wanted to cover. Right. So basically, there's no cap on this. It could be somebody from way back when. It could be bands that are disbanded, bands where the lead singer's dead, but you can say, I like this song, I would love to hear it covered by blah-de-blah.
Right.
And we don't have a specific number, because I think you said you have like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I've got like around 10. But just figured we could just, throw some of these out. If you come up with any more while we're talking, then...
Yeah, we'll just throw them in there.
Yeah, just feel free to, toss it right in there.
I do feel bad, though, because on my list, I do have the same artist twice.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I kind of feel bad. It's like, it makes me... I feel like I'm limiting myself. Like I don't know any other bands except for this. But I'm like, yeah, I just, when I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I hear that person's, voice.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool.
And, and how this came about was, we were having a conversation because you like Fleetwood Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for Fleetwood Mac, but I like their songs when they're covered by other people.
Yeah.
And that's something that I found with a lot of, like, I don't like the Beatles, but I like the Beatles songs when they're covered by other people.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, well, who else? And then you had some really good covers, like, the Foo Fighters when they did their cover of Darling Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
And then when, of course, when Prince did his cover of Best of You, and you hear these things sometimes and you don't even think about it, especially if it's a good song, you don't really even think about, like, it's like blasphemy, like cover, like what? No,
yeah,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you hear a cover and you're like, wow. I think earlier today I mentioned, I was like, when Chris Cornell did the cover of Billie Jean,
mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't even thought about that. And then Sinead O'Connor did her cover of Prince, Nothing Compares to You.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So even if it's a good song, sometimes you can enjoy both. Like and we mentioned this a long time ago, but Come Together.
Yeah.
Aerosmith's version, Michael Jackson's version. Mm-hmm. I love both of those.
Both beautiful covers, yeah.
I can tolerate the original. I can.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of song covers, because so much of, like, what I listen to through YouTube, which I know we're not really thrilled with YouTube right now, but right. So much of what I listen to with YouTube are from YouTubers who are doing song covers. Like Nate Wants to Battle has a great cover album. He does an amazing cover of Feel Good Inc.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And he does like kind of a punk rock thing, so he's like harmonizing with himself, and then he gets somebody else to do the rap segment. But it's pretty great. And of course, I love Ninja Sex Party's covers, mm-hmm. and they have like 3 cover albums, plus Dan teamed up with the Super Guitar Brothers for a cover album, which the opening track on that is a cover of Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Mm-hmm. Great cover.
Weezer just did an entire cover.
Oh yeah, all 80s songs.
And Rage Against the Machine did a cover album.
Nice.
Which had like a Street Fighting Man on there, which is really good. Microphone Fiend, Pistol Grip Pump, and they did Bob Dylan, Maggie's Farm, which
nice.
Is probably one of my favorite like songs that they've done. And I mean, I love it. Of course, like Rodeo is up there. It's like my number one. And then you've got, but then Maggie's Farm is really high. So I mean, I think sometimes like not only can covers just kind of rejuvenate a song, mm-hmm. but it can also, depending on the song, can bring it to the attention, a good song, bring it to the attention of someone that normally wouldn't have listened to it because they don't care for the artist.
Yeah.
And you can't always separate the artist from the song.
Yeah, not always. And, I think it's good to, like, kind of give a song a fresh take. And, I think there's times when it's, like, it's good to do a cover and it's just, like, you are singing that song exactly as the original artist intended it to, mm-hmm. and that's fine. But then I also really like when you're bringing a whole fresh new spin to it.
Right.
And just like that 30 Second to Mars cover that you played.
Stronger?
Stronger, yeah. And it's like, it was a totally different experience, but I liked it just as much as the Kanye West version.
Mm-hmm. And then we played, like, before this, we played the, Rob Zombie or White Zombie's version of Blitzkrieg Bop, mm-hmm. which is it's really nice. It's different from the Ramones version.
Yep.
But then you have something like the Commodore's Easy, mm-hmm. and then you hear the Faith No More version, which is sung very similarly. It sounds just as good though, or like, and it's a change in the voice, mm-hmm. the vocals, even though it may be sung in like the same key or rhythm.
Yeah. But like everybody sings differently at the end of the day, so it is really cool. It's kind of like Ballroom Blitz, and like I love the version from Wayne's World.
Oh yeah, I mean too. I like that one more than the one by Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like my favorite. So yeah, there's that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, we just started thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if so and so ever covered this song? It's like, you know what, we should just do a podcast on this.
Yeah.
So you want to go first or shall I?
I can, because it was kind of my idea. I can. So and this kind of sucks because I actually started writing this down before like Weezer album dropped or even heard about it. And it was just because I like Weezer.
Your whole list is just going to be the stuff from the Weezer cover album, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I really wish Weezer would just cover Africa.
Yeah. And I tweeted Matt Damon and I was like, "Hey, Matt Damon, you're a big Weezer fan, right? Not just Pinkerton." And
can we all just agree that Weezer's the best band of all time?
And so my first one is Weezer doing a cover of "We're Through Being Cool" by Devo.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah. Woo! This is off to a good start.
The bad thing about this is the ones that we hear we really like will probably never happen, and we're like, I really want this to happen. I want this to be a real thing.
Yeah. I guess, like, and I don't know how many people would even know We're Through Being Cool, because was that exclusive on the heavy metal soundtrack?
No, it's actually, which is funny because it's in the movie, but it's not on the soundtrack.
That's right, yeah.
It's actually just one of their songs from one of their other albums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know Devo's discography as well as I'd like. That's really, that would be really good though.
Yeah.
Alright, so, like I said, I've got a few more than you, but this was one of the first ones I thought of when we first started talking about this months ago, which is, I want to hear Stone Temple Pilots, the original Stone Temple Pilots, with Scott, covering Three Doors Down's Kryptonite.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when I think about the chorus, I can hear Scott,
right,
like, belting that out in his style. In his style, that is,
because he has a certain like drag to his voice.
Yes, he does.
And like, there would be so much like throat and so much oomph to that chorus, especially at the end of the second verse where he's like, as long as you'll be my friend at the end.
Right.
Yeah, I can hear that, just like him kind of like dragging that up into the chorus. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, man, that would be really nice. So mine is and for some ways it could be that maybe on like some kind of a rare like B-side or a deep cut or something, some side B's or whatever, these may have been done. I've got I downloaded a bunch of Foo Fighter songs like a long time ago, mm-hmm. and one of the things on there was some things that they had done on talk shows.
Yeah,
and they had and a lot of them were just because they did like, I don't know, like 60 seconds of "Hit Me Baby One More Time" or whatever, and then they did like "Born in the Bayou."
I know they did like 30 seconds of "Larger Than Life."
Yeah, so it's possible that one of these could be on something, and I just never heard it. But one of the things that I thought was Prince. The Prince Rogers Nelson doing "Long Tall Sally" by Little Richard.
Ooh. All right. I can see that.
Yeah. And just cause, his voice, his energy, And then doing that with Long Tall Side, I was like, that would sound super nice.
That would be really good.
And then you put his guitar in there too. Mm-hmm. That would be fantastic.
God, he could shred. Yeah, it would be a much like cleaner version of the song. Like Prince's vocals were a lot cleaner than Little Richard's.
If you we often talk about other like podcasts and stuff on our show. Which I guess we probably shouldn't, but I like these different like podcasters, so I'm okay with just giving them like a bit of a shout out or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But not that this guy needs it, but if you listen to Disgraceland, was it Jake Brennan's podcast? He did one recently about Prince, and there's a part in there, and you talk about like Prince shredding, where he. It was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they were paying tribute to somebody, and how he just stayed there, and then like the band starts playing, it's like Tom Petty and a couple other people, and they're playing, and he just walks out and then just joins in, and the way he's describing the scene, and of course you can pull this up on YouTube and watch the actual video.
I feel like I've seen this video.
and like the other people, he's like, there's this subtlety in like their facial features as he's like starts to shred, and they're just kind of like in awe of what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
And he plays and does his part, and then just unceremoniously just walks right off the stage. He walks out, does his thing, just rips it up, and then just walks right off the stage when he's done, and that's it.
Such big dick energy. It reminds me of like Bruce Lee saying like, I don't have to brag. It's like I'm not going to brag and try to convince you that I'm amazing. You should just be able to see it. It's that kind of thing.
I think it's kind of funny about Prince is that that he would sometimes ride on the back of his bodyguard.
Oh yeah.
And he would like, and the thing is, you could that only works if you are a small guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you can't like. It's kind of a badass thing, but it's only a badass thing that you can pull it off because you're a small guy. But then you.
Small but powerful. He's like a halfling.
But it's like the thing is but it's because you're small that you can do it. It's this weird thing where you can't be like, it's like, oh well, look at him, he's small, that's why he can ride on the guy's back. It's like, no, that's kind of awesome in a weird way.
Yeah, it's like Blaster Master.
So right now, we normally when we're doing a podcast, we just got something on in the background. So we're not gazing longly into each other's eyes. And we don't have anything in particular on right now. It's, was it Ant-Man Wasp, just on like TBS or whatever.
Yeah.
And they showed a commercial for something. And then the commercial shows a guy riding down the street in like a bear costume. He's riding on a motorcycle down the street in a bear costume.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've told you this, but I don't think I've ever told in a podcast about, this is very much music related, by the way, about, the time that Stax and I went to go see the Flaming Lips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we go to see the Flaming Lips, and it's fantastic. Great show. We're there. I forget who opened for them. But did they even have an opening band? It was Wayne Cohen's, I think his brother had a band called Dark Star, and they had just done an album. It was like a full cover of Dark Side of the Moon.
Nice.
And they opened for the Flaming Lips, and then the Flaming Lips played, and of course, we're there. We're in an amphitheater. I'm sorry, yeah, it was like a pavilion amphitheater,
mm-hmm.
and just of course, there's like a lot of weed being smoked, and you can smell it. So we were leaving, and we were walking back to the car after the show, and it's about 11:30 or so at night, and the street's fairly empty, and we're walking back to the car, and then on a bicycle riding down the street was a person in a pink bunny costume, head to toe pink bunny costume with the hood, the hat on,
God,
the hat on.
I would think it was a serial killer.
And they just riding down the street in a bicycle. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I was like, "Did you just see that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay," because I thought maybe I had a contact high.
Then I'd be scared shitless that they were gonna like try to kill me.
It's funny because after that, the next day we both went to work. So like on a Wednesday, we both went to work, and he was a team manager, and like all the team managers gone out to eat, and they and wherever they were sitting at a restaurant, he was sitting at the end of a table, and the sunlight was coming in from the window and was hitting him right in the face. So one of the other ones the team leaders were talking to him, and he was just kind of dazed because the sunlight hit him. He couldn't really see. And they were like, and they all knew he went to the concert last night, and they were like, he's still a little high from last night. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, we've been talking to you. And he's like, I can't see. It's like the sun's in my eyes, and I'm kind of blinded there. So while that's going on, I was actually teaching a class, and I'm walking back and forth. And as I'm walking back and forth, I'm teaching, I'm like, damn, I was like, something smells like weed, right? and I'm walking, and I'm trying not to bring attention, but I'm like, something smells like weed. It was in my hair. Right? Oh God! So as I'm walking back and forth, my hair's going, everything. This smell of weed kept wafting by me, and I'm trying to teach class, but I'm in the middle of saying something. I'm like, damn, something smells like weed. What is it? And I'm like, I'm showered. I'm wearing fresh clothes. Like, what is it?
And everybody that's like interacting was just like, God damn, he smells like weed. Oh Lord! Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So my next one might be a little bit controversial.
Okay.
So you and I, neither of us are really fans of Bon Jovi.
Okay. So I got another story to tell before I do that. I do not like Bon Jovi, with the exception of I'm okay with Wanted Dead or Alive, but Blaze of Glory I do like, but that's only because it was the theme song to Young Guns 2.
Yeah.
And I do love Young Guns 2 so much.
It's a great movie.
So again, this is another story with Stax. He was at my house one night, and we had been playing Guitar Hero. So this is like years ago, back when that was something people did.
Yeah.
And we were playing, and we had like one more to go in the set, and it was Bon Jovi, like Wanted Dead or Alive. And after I forget the song we had played before, and we just fucked that one up. And then we started doing Wanted Dead or Alive, and neither one of us liked the song, but the play was really good, and we did a really good job on it. And it was like, damn, that sucks. Why did we do good on this one?
You get really mad at yourself. It's like, oh. Yeah, I would like to hear Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi covered by Nirvana. More as a curiosity.
Actually, you know what? I think it might have been Living on a Prayer instead of Wanted Dead or Alive. But even still, all the fucking songs suck.
And it's like, I don't think Living on a Prayer is a good song per se, but I feel like if Nirvana had covered it, they could have probably salvaged it. You know?
Probably. They could have probably made it palatable.
Yeah. Like, fix the vocals, kick up the tempo a bit, make it a little bit rockier. I think they could do it.
You know, what's funny is that, like, for a band like Nirvana, they could do that and be like, oh, it's like, hey, you know what? We could probably really make this song rock. I'm not going to, because it's a shitty song, but I bet you we could.
Yeah, I'm sure they had that conversation. It's like, no, we can make this work. And then there's like 30 seconds of silence, and then Kurt's just like, nah, fuck that. That's stupid.
I already got stomach problems. You want to make it worse? Yeah, I think I told you when I was there was a guy I used to know that used to sing the first line. It was in school. He used to sing the first line of Living on a Prayer. And he just used to be like, Joey used to work at the docks. The union went on strike. His hearing aid broke. And that was it. And I have no idea why that was funny. But it was.
Have you seen the shitty concert edit of that?
No.
Like, they do this with like all kinds of stuff. I've seen them do it with like Rocket Man and all kinds of stuff, and it's just like they just edit it to be super, super shitty. And it'll be things like they'll show the person like playing the piano, but then they'll just dub over like random keys being hit, just like bling blong bling blong and stuff like that. And it's always really funny, but then they did Living on a Prayer, and it just shows them playing it, and it's at the intro, and it's just like, whoa, 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 but then they just do that on cycle over and over and over for like a minute, and then they just cut it into, Joey used to work on the docks, Joey used to work on the docks, and they just like repeat that like 8 times, and then it ends. It's a really good edit.
So, one of my favorite covers, and I mention it because it's kind of like what you just said. One of my favorite covers is the Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Benny and the Jets.
Nice.
It's on their Sounds of Science anthology or like double CD. And what's great about it is I'm trying to think which one is it that's singing. See, it's not My D. It's not. Yeah, it's not Ad Rock either. So yeah. So it's not, I'm trying because I've never seen the video. I just hear the voices. And but what's great about it is when he gets to the chorus or like some of the words, he just mumbles them. He just starts off. He's like, "Hey kids, take you to the you know to change the weather." And it's so great. And it's like a live cover. It's beautiful, and I love it, man. And he just like the words he doesn't know, he mumbles, and I'm like, this is so awesome.
One of my favorite experiences like that. The Foo Fighters will oftentimes like find fans in the audience who can play, and they'll bring them up and let them, play. And there's been some pretty impressive videos like that where it's like, oh yeah, you want to do one of our songs with us? And then like they brought up this like little 10-year-old kid, and he just like was looking so starstruck, and he's like, I'm learning. And like, okay, well, can you play anything right yet, or can you get to where you can play anything yet? And he's like, I know all the chords to Sandman. And Dave's face just kind of falls. He's like, all right, man, tread. And so he's doing the chorus and doing the chords for it. And Dave starts singing it. He's like, say your prayers, little one. And he gets through like the first line. He's like, that's all I know. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, kid. It's like, come to our show next year. I'll have the song. I'll know the song by then. I'll sing it for you. I promise.
I love Dave.
He's great.
And, like the covers that he's done. Like he did the cover of Baker Street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not him, but the band did the cover of Baker Street. And dude, I love that. I love that song, that cover.
They're great.
I remember the first time I saw them in concert. He had this at the they've got the stage and they've got this long like walkway that said he goes up and down. I think I mentioned some of the other ones. Because if you watch it live at Wembley, it's almost like the same stage setup. Mm-hmm. So he's got this long walkway that he walks up and down through the crowd. But at the end of it, it had this piece that rose up, this kind of staircase that rose up. And he goes up to that and he was like, all right, because these next two songs are going to sing just to the people at the very top, in the nosebleed section. All the rest of you guys got to look at my ass. It was fantastic. Oh.
All right.
So is it my turn?
It is.
Okay. All right. So for my next one, it's Beck doing "Paranoid Android" by Radiohead.
Nice.
And I'm a Radiohead fan. I do love Radiohead, and I love Beck. And I was just that song. I was like, man, that would be interesting hearing that.
Yeah. From
Beck. I was just like, that would be God, because when it comes to Radiohead, there's not a lot of their songs like we've all heard like the ballad of "Creep" and that kind of thing, and it's really easy. I should say it's easy. I think it's more acceptable to take like a song and slow it down,
mm-hmm.
And make it a new song, or a different take on a song, as opposed to when you kind of speed it up some or just change the tempo of it or the rhythm or cadence of the song, how you break the words up. But then there's like you said, like when I heard that, I was like, I can see him doing that even in his kind of slower like drawl that he does. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you listen to like the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack, when you listen to the songs by Sex Bomb
mm-hmm.
versus the same songs by Beck, he has even Garbage Truck is so much different, than that. So I think but I can hear his voice fitting with that so well doing "Paranoid Android."
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I've got Beck on my list somewhere too. I mean, it's hard not to. He's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so since I was singing this one earlier, this might not surprise you, but maybe who I want it to be covered by would. I want to hear Lit's "I Am My Own Worst Enemy" covered by They Might Be Giants.
God, that's nice.
Yeah, right?
Wow. They Might Be Giants doing My Own Worst Enemy. That would be something, man.
Yeah. They'd have to kind of like change the instrumentation for the chorus, I think, but it'd be fun. It'd be a really fun cover.
Yeah. And yeah, it would be so different in like because they have a very, it's not unique, but they have a very kind of interesting way of crafting their songs and like the music. There's a again, because we're talking about covers. It was on that awesome covers like various artists download I got that had the 30 Seconds of Mars Kanye on it, and this was who was it? They did a cover of, what was it? Flaming Lips doing a cover of song. Shit, damn it. It's one I really like, because a lot of them were just I just didn't feel. But this one, now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, crap, I can't think of what it is now. Because it wasn't a cover like She Don't Use Jelly. It was it was Flaming Lips, and they were doing a cover of Shitbags. Fuck it. Which edit this part out, 'cause I can't remember. He's not gonna edit this part out. It's just gonna make me look stupid. You have more than one. I mean, you've got more than I do as far as they go. So
okay, yeah, you just want me to do two at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard the Gorillaz' more recent song "Trans" just now, and I made a point of you listening to that before we did this episode, because I would kind of like to hear that song covered by David Bowie.
Wow.
So think about the how operatic the chorus is. Do you dance like this? I think that would go perfectly with Bowie's voice.
See, now I've got to listen to it again and see if I can get hear that Bowie in there. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting.
He would be a lot bassier on the verses, I think, because the verses are very wispy in Trans. But I think if you kind of like got it a bit bassier, kind of boldened it up a bit, then he would just own that chorus. It would be great. Instrumentation would have to be totally different, but
yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be. You got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, that'd be something. That'd be something, man.
God, I love that song. I've listened to that song so many times in the past few weeks.
Trans?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh. All right, my turn, right?
Yep.
Okay. So unfortunately, I'm back again with Beck. I say unfortunately just because I was like, I hate that I went back to him again, but I'm thinking about people that kind of do things a little bit different, take a song a little different, different take on it. And, Beck doing, Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Oh my God. That would be really, really good.
Yeah. It's like I can hear kind of like, I can't hear exactly how he would do it, but I can kind of hear a little bit of it in my head. And I'm like, just that little part makes me want to hear more. Like, I'm like, oh, I could see him doing that.
I feel like at least one of the times where he belts out Sabotage, he would have to do it in that falsetto that he does in Deborah.
Oh yeah. He's and I think you've heard it. It's a song that Beck did for the Life Less Ordinary soundtrack. And the way he sings on that is I really like that song. I had to track that song down too, like crazy to find that. But when I think about Sabotage and I kind of take take Beck's voice from that song and his vocal style from that song and kind of put it to the lyrics of Sabotage, I'm like, oh man, that would sound sound really good.
Yeah.
Or even Sex Laws.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You just kind of take the way the way that's crafted and stuff, and
I love Sex Laws.
Sex Laws is great.
That's one of my favorite Beck songs.
All right, so what you got there?
Want me to do another two or?
You can just do one.
Okay. So this one I'm not totally sure about, but you know what? Actually, I'm going to skip that because
really,
I'll come back to it because I want to talk about this one because I'm already got Gorillaz on the brain. Been talking a lot about Gorillaz. I would like to hear. I would like to hear Gorillaz cover "In the End" by Linkin Park. It would be a lot.
Okay, so I have to ask you this: Who's doing the singing?
I mean, 2D would be doing like the chorus, but as far as you mean, like during the verse with the sort of the staccato beat, the rap.
No, it's like because a lot of the Gorillaz songs they have like
they would have a guest singer.
They have guest vocals. Like Dare was like a great song, and they don't sing on Dare or do the rap. Mm-hmm. And then was we talking about I think Stilo earlier? Mm-hmm. So I mean, would they be doing doing the singing, or would someone else? Would they have a guest doing the singing
during the chorus? I'd say the actual band doing the singing. And it would, it wouldn't be able to be as projected as Linkin Park does it. But, maybe if they kind of dull it down, kind of like dampen the sound, I could see that. But as far as who would do, the rap segment, I mean, I guess that's technically rap, right?
I think so.
I mean, it's staccato rhythm at the very least. I don't know who I would get to do that part. I'm trying to think of some of who they've collaborated with.
Well, they've done multiple collaborations with
De La Soul.
Thank you, De La Soul.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite of their collaborators is Deltron because he's amazing.
Yeah.
So I could kind of hear that, but it also
the funky Homo sapien.
Yeah. But I feel like that's almost he's too good to just do that. And that's not a knock against Linkin Park. It's just that Del's got a really different flow than what that is.
Well, yeah, Most Def. But he was on one of the songs on the Plastic Beach.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, I could see that working.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there we go.
All right, so I have one that just kind of came to me. And this is, I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me. And I'm not saying this would be great, but I would at least like to hear it.
Okay.
Because I think it would just be interesting to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so people don't hate me. I would like to hear Bjork doing a cover of Tiny Dancer by Elton John.
I would love that. I like Bjork.
I like Bjork too, but I'm just Tiny Dancer is oh god, what is that song that she has? I really like it. Oh my god, it's such a and see, I would have been prepared for this had I not just thought of it just now. But it's that one song. It's hauntingly beautiful, but it's so it's sad. It's a sad song. I gotta think of the song just real quick so I can kind of talk about what it why it's so haunting.
Yeah. Have you heard Weird Al's commentary on Bjork?
No, I haven't.
All he really says about it is that Bjork comes from the Icelandic word for "you're standing on my windpipe."
So just give me 1 minute here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was from the same Al TV where he says that he's going to make a commentary on Peter Gabriel, and then he just puts a cassette on the floor and then hits it with a sledgehammer.
Wow.
It was because of the song Sledgehammer.
Okay, I was going to say because he really is living up to that line in Teen Titans Go when he played Darkseid. It was he's the worst person of them all.
Oh no, it wasn't a cassette, it was a little toy robot. Then he just looks in the camera, he's like, "Sledgehammer?"
Oh, that's funny.
And we're back.
Even though the people didn't know if we actually went anywhere.
They do now.
Oh, well, thanks. You're not really quite sure how this editing thing goes, right? It's supposed to be seamless.
It's kind of like jazz, improvisational jazz. It's like if you fuck up on the first verse, then you might as well make the same mistake on the second verse so they think you did it on purpose. It's that kind of thing.
That's why when I accidentally call somebody by the wrong name, when I call the name again, I call it by a different wrong name. So then I just look like, they're like, at first, like, this guy didn't know my name. Like, it's like, he called me he called me Jeff. My name's not Jeff. And then I call him George. And they're like, wait, what the fuck is he doing? It's like, now I just seem weird instead of incompetent.
There you go.
And that's better.
See, it works.
So one of the songs I was thinking about was Venus as a Boy, which is a great song. And just her wistfully throaty tone on that. But the one that I was really thinking of that really kind of resonates when I'm thinking of doing a cover of Tiny Dancer is Hyper Ballad. Which is, have you heard Hyper Ballad?
I don't think I have.
It's really nice. I'll have to play it for you. It's really nice, but it's I have
heard Venus as a Boy.
So listen to these lyrics. It starts off and says, "We live on a mountain right at the top. There's a beautiful view from the top of the mountain. Every morning I walk towards the edge and throw little things off, like car parts, bottles, and cutlery, or whatever I find lying around. It's becoming a habit, a way to start the day. I go through all this," and this gets to the chorus, "I go through all this before you wake up so I can feel happier to be safe up here with you." It's a dark song, man.
Yeah.
It is. And then I think of like...
Kind of reminds me of STP's Wet the Bed.
Oh. I love bed.
Yeah, like read that in Scott Weiland's voice. Sometimes I throw things off the edge.
So yeah, that. But thinking about that, like what she puts, the energy she puts into that, and the emotion she puts into it, and then having her doing Tiny Dancer, I think would just be kind of awesome.
That would be really cool, yeah. All right, awesome. So I will go back to the one that I initially skipped now, because I really wanted to get to that Gorillaz one.
Okay.
But I would like to hear Ozzy Osbourne cover Stone Temple Pilots' Interstate Love Song. It'd be a very different experience.
That would be very different.
And it would not be as good as the original.
It could possibly.
God damn, it would be interesting. Get like much more driving instrumentation, step up the tempo a little bit, and maybe sing it in a higher key. And I think Ozzy would make it a pretty interesting experience.
Okay, I'm going to counter that with Ozzy Osbourne doing a cover of Wet My Bed.
Only if he screams it the way he screams All Aboard at the beginning of Crazy Train. Like, just the whole way through. And where's Mary? Have you looked in the bathroom? Yeah, I'd be into that.
He would change it to Where's Sharon? He'd be like, where's Sharon? Sharon!
And who has my last cigarette?
She sleeps in there sometimes when I'm too drunk or high and she doesn't want to put up with my shit. Yeah. So I can see that.
I'm just thinking of that clip from the Ozzy show where like the phone rings and he just like rolls around and looks at it. He's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh man,
that would be really good.
So again, Disgraceland did an episode on Ozzy.
Oh god.
Which, I mean, everyone knows all the different stories about Ozzy.
Oh
but,
yeah.
This one story, which was new to me because I don't really know a lot about him. And of course, I know about him like, snorting ants and things like that. But
as you do.
But this one story was, as Jake tells it, he was doing a lot of drugs. He was super paranoid. This is before Sharon. Doing a lot of drugs, super paranoid. And there was a guy that was hanging out with them, like a groupie or roadie, that didn't look like the regular, like, groupies or roadies. And he was a little too buttoned down. And Ozzy was really kind of paranoid about this guy and was like, thought he was an undercover cop. Then one day the police show up at the house and they got a shit ton of drugs there.
Oh God, I've read this story. It's in I Am Ozzy.
Okay.
But keep going, because I love this.
So he's like, he's flipping out and everything. He's like, this is going to be it. The tour's going to be canceled. I'm going to go to prison for like, more years than I can count. And, more years than I can count times 10. And so we've got to get rid of the drugs. So he goes and, starts trying to flush the drugs. And ends up clogging the toilet, and they still got more drugs. And so he gets all the other people there, and they're like, if the cops come in and find all these drugs here, we're all going to be in trouble. There's like 6 bathrooms in this house. Basically, like, grab some drugs and get the flushing. And then it's like, it's not working.
Oh, this is actually a different story than I was thinking, but keep going. This is great.
And then he was like, this isn't working. It's like, there's no more way to get rid of this coke. We gotta snort it up.
It is the same story, okay.
And they just start to snort up all this cocaine. And then, of course, the cops weren't even there for anything, didn't even come inside the house.
Yeah, it was the same story, okay.
Which I'm like, holy shit, man.
Didn't he go through like 3 baggies of the stuff?
I don't remember him saying like what he went through, but it was just
crazy.
Yeah, just like, what in the hell?
And it was, because he talks about that in the I Am Ozzy book, and at the end of the story, he's like, I don't have a fucking clue how that didn't kill me. It's like, well, yeah, I should have killed you.
Oh man, that's insane.
God, yeah.
Just what in the world?
Yeah, apparently science wants to study him after he dies to see what the hell was in his body that kept him from just dying from all the drugs that he did.
So this is something that was also in Disgraceland. So if you guys haven't, and this guy's won like 2 awards for like podcast of the year, like consecutively.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we'll beat that.
Me telling you about him or whatever. I mean, if you don't really know about him, you would hear about him soon. And I like his stories, I like the way he tells his stories. So I hate we're always bringing up more well-known podcasts on our podcast. But I think it's just like anything else that we other media, whatever that we absorb. And also, I would just have to say, we're podcasters. We listen to podcasts too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So be like someone like, making a movie that doesn't watch movies. Like, I can't stand movies.
Plus, we would be really hard pressed to find a podcast that's not better known than ours. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, how we stay humble. But one of the other things he mentions in that particular podcast about Ozzy was shit. Now I forgot where I was going with this. With his crazy ass rants and his drugs and
yep.
Fuck me. And here it is. I gotta take a moment here.
I know there was one story where, like, a friend of the family's, like, a friend of the family's lost his father. His dad died. And so they went to the funeral, and Ozzy told the story as he saw it from his mind, but then he told the story that really happened. Because he was like, in his mind, he walked up to the guy, shook his hand, and was like, I'm so sorry for your loss. You have my deepest condolences. If there's anything that I can do to help you, just let me know. And when they got back to the car, Sharon was pissed off at him. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, what are you talking about? She's like, you walked up and was like, ha ha, your dad's dead, fucking loser. He's like, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, I think that was about the point where he realized he needed to get sober.
Well, he told an interesting story about Ozzy waking up in the middle of the night and strangling Sharon.
Oh, God.
And
yeah, that wasn't in the memoir.
He blacked out. He wakes up in jail. And he's like, how did I get here? And the guard's like, hey, fuck you, you asshole. It's like, you tried to kill your wife. He's like, why would I try to do that? But he'd been blacking out and doing shit that he was completely unaware of. And
God,
like,
that's scary.
I gotta get... But I remember now what it was. It's a story that he tells on this. And so, for those of you unaware, like, Disgraceland, he's got a website where he puts all of his sources on there. I haven't gone to look at that to validate his sources. I mean, I'm not Woodward or Bernstein, so I'm going to relate the story to you as it was related to me. I'm going to tell you that, Tim, so if I'm wrong, he's wrong. And I'm telling you that he told me wrong. And if you ever told me wrong, just say fuck you, Jake Brennan. But as of right now, I trust that he's telling me the right thing. But the story is Ozzy tested positive for HIV.
Okay, that sounded familiar, but keep going.
But it turns out that all the drugs and shit he had done had fucked up his body and his blood so bad that they couldn't get a good read. And so he tested positive, and they're like, we've never seen blood like this before. Your blood's all fucked up. You don't have HIV, but this is... you're... Like, we don't even know how you're alive, pretty much.
Like, Lord knows what you do have, because... Good guy.
And it's like the only person that you could actually give blood to is Keith Richards, and we're not even positive that it wouldn't kill him.
Oh god, that would open a wormhole.
Huh?
That would open a wormhole.
Yeah.
That would just, like, end the universe.
That would create an Akira type monster. Like, you know.
Just this pulsing, oozing mound of flesh.
Tornado! Like, Ozzy! Oh. Okay, so who is it my turn now?
I think it's your turn, yeah.
It is my turn. Alright, so this is the last one I actually have. Foo Fighters doing a cover of Can You Hear Me Knocking by the Rolling Stones.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be real good. I actually have Foo Fighters down on my list a little ways.
But yeah, I love Can't You Hear Me Knocking, and it's one of those that I think they've said that they stopped playing in concerts for a while because it was such a long song.
Yeah.
But it really is I like it a lot. I really like that song, and it's one that I can hear Dave doing a cover of, or I always say Dave like there's nobody else in the band. Like, no, Taylor, he doesn't exist. Pat, he doesn't exist. No, it's all Dave.
Fuck those other guys.
Yeah. But I can really hear the band doing that, and really making it, just putting a slightly different spin on it, but really making it rock. So
I think they could do pretty much any Rolling Stone song and do it super, super well.
Yeah,
like can you imagine them doing Paint It Black?
God, that'd be something, man.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a trip.
You know who I wouldn't mind seeing or hearing do Paint It Black? And here's the bad part. I can't narrow it down to which one, but either Jack White, Dead Weather, or the Raconteurs.
Ooh, the Raconteurs would do really good with that.
And it's like, of course, they're all Jack White, but there's Jack White solo, then there's there's the Raconteurs, and there's Dead Weather, and each one has a different sound to it. So I'm not sure which sound would work better. Yeah, but yeah.
How do you think Ben Folds would do with Paint It Black? Totally different sound, but
I hate to say it, but I can't hear that one. I can't.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
I mean, I could be pleasantly surprised, but just off the cuff, I can't.
Maybe if he did it kind of like Brick. Like, really slow it down to a ballad.
That would be interesting, maybe.
Yeah, it would definitely be a reinterpretation.
A reinterpretation. But yeah, that would be something.
I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if it'd be good, but it'd be interesting. Alright, since we were already talking about Foo Fighters, I'm just going to throw mine out, which you're not super familiar with the music of the Sonic games, but I've spoken very highly of it in the past. I want to hear Foo Fighters cover Live and Learn by Crush 40.
Okay, see, I don't know that one.
Anybody who knows Live and Learn, the few who listen to the podcast, you guys, if you know Live and Learn, you know what I'm talking about. It'd be fucking awesome covered by Foo Fighters.
Alright, so...
It's solid. It's a good song.
Okay.
I mean, it's trash rock, it's suck rock, but...
Suck rock?
Yeah. or what does Aaron call it from the Game Grumps? He calls it butt rock. It's just, like, really, like, trashy rock, but it's great. I love it.
That'd be kind of interesting. I'd have to hear the song to be able to say, but... I haven't heard a Foo Fighters song I didn't like. Yeah. I mean, I've heard some I didn't like as much as others, but I haven't heard one I didn't like.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I'd be for it, man.
Yeah, I'd love to give it a whirl. And of course, you mentioned Raconteurs, and we've already talked about Beck a few times. I would actually like to hear Beck cover Many Shades of Black.
That would be nice. Mm-hmm. That would be really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Beck can really do some good soul stuff. And Many Shades of Black is one of the most soulful songs on the planet. So, Many Shades of Black has gotten me through some dark shit, so...
And Many Shades of Black is really good. I love that song quite a bit.
That is one of the most wonderful songs of all time, yes.
The lyrics are just, everybody sees and everybody agrees that you and I were wrong and it's been that way for too long.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. I would have to say that if you had to make a, most people when they make a post breakup song, playlist, that they always want to pick these sappy ass things to remind them of all this stuff that, but that's like the song that you play to be like, fuck that person. You put on like Ben Folds' song for the dumped. Yep. You put on Many Shades of Black and
and top it off with Love Stings. Wedding singer version.
So I don't know if this has ever been done, and this is just one that just kind of popped in my head. I think I would like to hear Johnny Cash do Heart Shaped Box.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that would be tight.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he fucking owns Hurt.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, that is purely Johnny Cash's song. He took it and he claimed it.
Just even from that opening line, there's so much emotion in that. So in that opening line, the way he just puts it out, I hurt myself today. Just like the way he drags it out, it's almost like a confession. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, those American recordings are just, they're the best.
Yeah. Yeah, so good.
And he did that cover of When the Man Comes Around.
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, that's really good. It's on the American recordings too.
Okay.
But yeah, When the Man Comes Around is really nice.
God, I gotta start listening all the way through albums instead of just like picking select songs.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to start doing that, but
yeah, it's kind of you hear the ones that brought it to your attention, mm-hmm. and then you kind of stick with that. And let's see.
I think the last album I listened all the way through was the Macho Man rap album. Be a Man. Just a phenomenal album.
I'm trying to think of I have another song in my head. I'm trying to think of who would be able to cover it. It's a song I really like. And I'm trying to think of who could cover it well. That would make me... Oh, I bet you I hear it is. This is it.
Okay.
Fiona Apple doing a cover of It's Probably Me by Eric Clapton and Sting.
Whoa.
And if you guys haven't heard that before, it was actually the song for the movie Lethal Weapon 3.
Okay.
And it's a really nice song. It's very deep and soulful. Eric Clapton and Sting.
I haven't thought about that song in a long time.
And I can hear Fiona Apple doing that and doing such a great job. I mean, her cover of Across the Universe is beautiful. I love that.
I got a great big crush on Fiona Apple.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been a bad boy. I'm just saying right now, Fiona Apple, I'm the keymaster, baby. So it just, if you want to bring about the end of the universe, hey.
Okay, so I'm thinking of a song, and I can't think of who I would want to have cover it, because my go-to is to say that I would want to hear Ninja Sex Party cover it.
Okay.
But their covers are very straight up. They don't really bring too much different to it. Sometimes they do. Like, their cover of Don't Fear the Reaper, they actually, slow the tempo down and make it a lot more soulful. That's pretty cool. But for the most part, they just do straight up covers, and they do them really, really well. But I want to hear somebody do a cover of Rio by Duran Duran, but I can't think of who would be a really good fit for that.
See, I was trying to think of someone doing the Reflex. I couldn't think of who could do the Reflex.
Yeah.
For me, I think it had to be someone that would be really energetic, especially when you get to that, that someone that could really just kind of belt that out and just put so much into it. But Rio, God, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah. I almost want to say that Weird Al could do a really good straight cover of that, because every once in a while, very rarely, he'll do like a serious cover. Like, he did a really, really nice cover of the Pixies' I Bleed. He did a great cover of Rebel Yell. And that,
nice.
Yeah, like, when he takes himself seriously and is like, I'm not playing this for laughs, he does some really great stuff, so I almost want to say that he could do that really well.
Man, Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there, and you're probably gonna hate me for it. And I'm just putting it out there because I think it would be interesting. I'm not saying it would be good, not saying it'd be bad, but I think it would be interesting. Rio, God, I can only imagine people listening to this. They're probably just gonna fucking rage. I cover Rio by Pharrell.
Okay. I could see that working.
It would be different.
It would be
guaranteed it would be different.
I was afraid that you were going to say a cover of Rio by Save Ferris. But...
And so, and I'm going to say this, for people that aren't very familiar with Pharrell, if you probably know him from his, like some of the solo stuff he's done, like when he did, Happy, and, the songs he did, for the first, Despicable Me. He did two songs on that album that I really, really liked. Was it Fun or something like that? And then he did the one, Beautiful Girls. Those songs are just really nice. And then, of course, did the other one. But then the stuff he's done with NERD or Nerd, depending on how you want to pronounce that.
Oh, NERD's great.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a different. He's a great producer, so he's used to doing different styles.
Yeah.
So it's like if you take someone like Rick Rubin who doesn't sing or anything, but you take Rick Rubin, you say, okay, Rick Rubin's produced like Metallica albums. He's done Chili Peppers. He's done Beastie Boys. He's done LL Cool J, and he's done all these different people. He did the American Recordings with Johnny Cash. So the guy knows different, genres of music and can do it really well.
Yeah. So
Pharrell is kind of along the same line, only he actually can make music too. So
yeah,
you can't. So I think it's easy to kind of like pigeonhole him as more of like a rap R&B kind of guy, but he can do other stuff too. And actually, I'm just comparing him to Rick Rubin because they're both producers, but this guy can also like sing and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
that would be interesting.
As a story as I heard it way back when, was when the first Nerd album came out, In Search Of, it was delayed because he had done it just using like a beat machine and did the whole thing there, but it somehow got leaked. And he then went and re-recorded all with live instruments, and that's the version that actually came out retail. Oh. I've heard both versions.
Yeah.
And he did an album called In My Mind. It's like one of his solo albums. And there was actually two versions of that too. One with live instruments and one with beats. And they do sound like they're different. I mean, even though saying it's just, there's something about, a live instrument versus like a beat machine.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
So, like I said, just knowing that and knowing that the difference that it can make when how you put things together. But I think, if nothing else, it would be different.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's, different's great. So this one just jumped out to me. The Pixies, Where Is My Mind, covered by Smashing Pumpkins.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty fun.
That would be interesting. I
think it'd be pretty faithful, but his vocals His vocals are, like, really throaty, and I think it would kind of add some harshness to the song. Mm-hmm. Like, a little, it would add desperation to the song.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be a really cool take. And I've been thinking, I never watched the Trolls movie, but on the soundtrack, Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake do a beautiful cover of True Colors.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really, really good cover. I'm trying to think of, like, what could those two cover that would go as well as True Colors?
Whew. Man, that would be something.
Yeah, that's, like, one of my favorite Cyndi Lauper songs. That's, like, a great, great song. Yeah, and they do a really good job. I mean, you already know I'm a huge fan of both of them.
Yeah, and, you know, and I was telling Wallcrawler this, and I think I've said it before, which is when he was in concert like years ago. He came by here. I think it was during the Future Sex Love Sounds tour, and some people I knew were going to see it. And they're like, "Are you going?" I'm like, "Man, I ain't going to see him, goddamn Justin Timberlake." And I mean, I was working at the music store when his first Justified came out, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, here we're gonna go. We're gonna get some more." Of that bye bye bye, and you know, and Justified came out, and it was pretty good. Now Pharrell was also one of the producers of that.
Oh wow!
and Timbaland did some songs soon. Of course, after that, I think he just pretty much stuck with Timbaland as the producer. But you've got some of the songs in there have the Clips back when they were still together. Kind of doing some rap on some of the songs, and of course, Pharrell had produced the Clips' first album. But anyway, I like Justified, had some good songs on it, and I dug it. But I was like, I'm still not going to go see like his concert. And I listened to the album. I really liked the album. And then the concert, they did a recording of the Madison Square Garden concert, and it came on HBO. Man, I've watched that thing like 3 times. That shit was so good. And I was like, oh, I wish I'd gone.
Yeah,
I wish I'd gone.
Yeah, he is like shockingly good at what he does.
Yeah,
no, if you haven't heard their cover of True Colors,
I have not.
It is beautiful.
But it would have to be something that has a duet or could be a duet, which I think that's the hard part about it. Is I'm thinking in my head, like, what could be that would be a duet that the two of them could work on?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think we can really probably answer that in this episode. We probably have to think about it and come back with another set of covers.
Yeah. You want to?
I think we could. You know,
this was a lot of fun.
I think maybe someone else we could do is talk about covers that we've heard that we like, because there's tons of covers that I don't think we've even mentioned. Like, I'm not a Courtney Love fan, even though I do like Hole's album Celebrity Skin, and I do like some stuff from her first album. Celebrity Skin was produced by Billy Corgan, primarily, I believe. But she did a cover of Gold Dust Woman for the Crow 2 soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it's damn good.
Wow.
It's kind of thinking about that, what could be good. But yeah, I mean, if we just kept making shit up as we go along, this podcast would never end.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good one to kind of come back and then, you know, think about some of our favorite covers and then some more that we think would be pretty good.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. We didn't do a lot of laughs, but you know, we got to talk about stuff that we're really enthusiastic about.
Yep.
And, you know, people at least got to hear both about bands that we like and songs that we like. So that's a pretty good combination.
And if you guys like 80s music, because you and I both love 80s music.
Oh, yeah. That's my go-to.
The soundtrack to the movie Sky High is all 80s cover songs.
Oh, nice.
And they're actually pretty good.
Awesome.
And I say it like that, like they're actually pretty good, because I'm like, you know, sometimes when people do a cover, like we said, you know, they so desperately want to change it up. But they actually did a good job with the cover songs on the Sky High soundtrack. I was impressed.
That's cool. Yeah.
So yeah, if you like 80s, just give it, you know, pull it up on, I don't know, like Spotify or, you know, Amazon Music or something like that, and just take a listen. You might find something you like.
And definitely give the Ninja Sex Party Under the Covers albums a listen. There's 3 volumes now, and I'm very fond of all of them. They're great albums.
Yeah. let's see, was it GNR Spaghetti Incident is all, I think, is all cover album.
Nice.
Rage Against the Machine has their all cover album, which is really, really good.
Yep, and we were talking about the Weezer one earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, that, like, all of that stuff is worth checking out.
And, of course, you also have things like Stoned Immaculation, the tribute to Led Zeppelin. And Stone Temple Pilots did a song on there, too,
nice.
on that one.
That one I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
But I think the best possible thing that we can close this podcast out with is Rick Astley's cover of Everlong.
Yeah. That was surprisingly good.
That was shockingly good.
So that's on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, you can watch and hear Rick sing that, perform it live in like his own like home studio doing Everlong.
And god damn, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's not one that I'm just like yeah, but I'm like, wow, he did a really good job. I was like, because I love Everlong. Everlong's one of those songs that I put on there, and I'm just like, oh, you know,
yeah, like
for me, I like Everlong, but it's a headphone song. Mm-hmm. It's one that I like to put both earbuds in or some noise canceling headphones and just let that song wash over me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. It gives me goosebumps.
So yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for joining us for another podcast, and we're just going to keep season 3 going
indefinitely.
Yeah,
it will never end.
No. It'll always be season 3. We'll just be like, it'll be season 3, 2020, 2021. Yeah, we're gonna do it like Chicago albums. Oh,
yeah.
So yeah. Again, this has been Turk182. You can find me on Twitter at Turk182_KE.
And I've been Acomi. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at Acomi Draws.
You know, check out some of our other podcasts. If you're first time listening to us, or if you just heard us for a few times, you know, we've got 2 full seasons behind us. You know,
Yep.
This is our 3rd season here. We've got a full season of our Let's Watches. And we're going to be starting up season 2 of our Let's Watches coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got, and of course, you know, if you run on over to our, Kurova YouTube channel, you can also see some of the other stuff we've done, including some, celebrity interviews and some of our old, like Let's Plays and other stuff we're going to be putting up there in the future.
Yep.
So yeah, check us out and, you know, drop us a, you know, if you have something you want to add to, you know, our covers, you know, feel free to,
send us a stamped envelope.
Yeah, yes, because I'm not paying for stamps. Stamps are damn expensive. But just shoot us a tweet or however it is you want to communicate with us. I'm actually pretty fond of message in a bottle just because I've never gotten one before. Just say, hey, how about this? Or, I think that would sound really, really horrible. I'm good either way. This is just what we thought would sound good. But, I can know some people are like, oh God, no, that'd be awful. His voice is too grating. But yeah, just let us know. And please, give us a review, man. If you really liked it, please give us 5 stars. If you didn't like it so much, listen to a couple more until you actually find one you really like and then give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
I hate this begging. I really do. Please, can I have some stars? Stars? But it just helps us to grow and get bigger and better, stronger, much faster. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
All right there, folks. That was Our Moms Think We're Funny. Let's